Welcome to Babbling Brummies. This is episode 7. Today we're going to be looking at some of the highlights from the week, some of the big news, and a bit of the results as well. I'm here, I'm Chris, with John.
Yo.
And Jamie.
You're right.
Let's go. Straight into it. What are we talking about this week, lads? What do you want to talk about?
I think one of the big things we need to talk about straight away is definitely the big decision last few days for us is the Watford manager second sacking of the season, and it's Raneri.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. And actually, as we record, like half an hour into, but before, Roy Hodgson's just been confirmed as manager as well.
I saw him driving in a clip Sky Sports posted.
Oh, I've seen him in person then.
I drove him in myself. I want to get Watford out. No, but it was, I would say, strange decision in the fact that we've sat two managers, but it's hard to argue for Ranieri. I think he's always been known as the inconsistent manager in my books. Like he's you never know what's going to happen with his teams. They could be brilliant, they could be not. One season they could be brilliant, one season might be terrible. We saw that with Leicester. We saw it with Chelsea to an effect as well. And I mean, they're very trigger happy, aren't they, Watford anyway?
Yeah, they love a sacking.
It's it's probably needed, to be honest. In this situation, I hate blaming the manager sometimes, but after losing 3-0 to Norwich, something drastic had to happen, I think, to just sort of like ignite their relegation scrap.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think it was quite hard to watch the game against Norwich. Like, I don't know if you've just watched it. I spent a bit of time trying to watch the game when I was at work, and it was, you could see that they were just trying and it just wasn't working. Like the amount of suicide passes that were played in the midfield, I just can't get over. I saw Musa Sissoko win that ball back at least 15 times, try and push forward and just play it straight to a Norwich centre forward. I didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think, like, after last week as well, speaking to Mike about Watford and how sort of pumped up we were for it. And, well, I was, like, singing Dennis's praises and his sort of 8 goals this season. And, you know, just as many goals as Son. And then, you know, he just gets himself a red card and ruins the fantasy league. So
arguably biggest game of the season for him. They need the result here, and he's gone. Very stupid red card as well. I don't know if you've seen both tackles.
I think there's been a few stupid red cards this season. That's another one to add to the list. When you look at what's his name, Wolves striker Jimenez, he's stupid red card, double yellow.
Oh yeah, when he blocked the free kick.
Yeah, he was... and also Gabriel against Man City, when he scuffed a penalty, got a yellow, then took down Gabriel Jesus, got a yellow. A few, we're talking about Arsenal, Xhaka's, all of Xhaka's he's ever had, but yeah.
Wow, yeah, whether they've been paid for or not, yeah.
I don't know what's happening with these players.
You leave Granite guaranteed money Xhaka alone.
I just want to know who's paying him for a red card. Like,
he's paying, he's going to get one anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You see Arsenal play and you just throw bucket. Oh, there's Xhaka play, yep, plus 10 bucket points.
It's going to be hard to get a case against Xhaka and watched him play. He's going to get a red card anyway, put money on him.
Yeah, well, whoop.
I mean, back to the game, like, Norwich had 2 shots on target and won 3-0. Like, Watford all over him. Like, and it's not only a bad result for Norwich, for Watford, sorry, in the fact that they lost the game and it's 3 points they should have won. They lost the game against the relegation, right? Probably the one team, we're looking at one of 3 teams who are actually going to be fighting for that final safe spot, and they lost to one of their rivals. Like, it's a massive kick in the teeth. This is probably the last game where you thought this is not easy 3 points, but the easiest 3 points they're going to get this season at home to Norwich.
Yeah, should have been, yeah.
Yeah, it should have definitely been a win.
They're throwing it away, and I don't really like trigger happy Watford, but in this situation I can't blame them.
I don't know, because it's like, what do they like? If you're chopping and changing so much, you're never giving your time a team to sort of settle under their manager. Sure, okay, Ranieri, fine. He's a bit inconsistent, like you say. One season he's in relegation battle with Leicester, the next season he won it. Like, that's as inconsistent as you can get. But at the same time, I know he's had a few, he's had the season to set in. But, you know, Everton, 5-2 or something? uh,
Yeah.
beating United 4-1. Like, he can do it. The team could do it, but for whatever reason, they just didn't.
To me, on Friday, it just looked like he'd lost the dressing room. He
Yeah.
looked like there was a team that just didn't give a damn. Like Josh King was off. There was one breakaway, and I'm not even joking. You could argue Josh King was about 10 yards offside, just strolling back. Like
Yeah.
the team just looked disinterested.
They haven't won since that Man United win. I remember we were together, weren't we? We were in a comic book shop when that match kicked off. And that was the last time they won a game. And it's crazy, I think, that they sacked him. But I also understand it. I know I said you can't really blame it, but I like to see managers build. I like to see managers get given time. But a few things not going in his favour is, firstly, he was appointed into the season.
Yeah.
He wasn't given a pre-season to get his team on the go. And I think for a situation like Watford at the moment, they need a manager who can make an impact. I know James was joking about Sam Allardyce.
Oh, I really wanted Big Sam.
He can make an impact quickly, and that's what they need. Even if he was only till the end of the season, which I believe that's Roy Hodgson's contract, isn't it? End of the season.
Probably.
Sure.
Then getting someone in from that, give him pre-season, if they can keep him up especially, to then start build. That would have been a good time to bring Ranieri in, maybe, so they could get under his tactics. He can bring in a few players which can help push his agenda in the squad. Whereas he's not playing with his squad. He got given this squad. And even though he's had the January market, not much big business goes on in January, and they don't really have time to gel.
No.
Well, you don't have time to gel before getting into competitive games. And it's a very hard situation for Ranieri, but I think right now they do need that impact manager who can get a few results on the bounce and keep them up.
And it's like we all said last week, isn't it? Like, Watford don't have a problem scoring goals. Take away Norwich. Their problem's defensively. And not Sam Allardyce, come on, Jay, it's Roy Hodgson. Roy Hodgson, he can defend quite, you know what I mean? Like, he'll get that defence going again, he'll keep clean sheets. You know, he'll restrict teams a little bit. I can't wait to see medical for Christian Benteke in the next 2 days, because that's definitely probably going to happen.
He's like is it Cardew for Pompey? He's like, for Redknapp, he just always turns up like everywhere. Crenshaw, that's it. Yeah, that's it. It's Benteke.
All the memes, we're getting the band back together. What is it? Crenshaw, called Crouching. So we're getting the band back together.
It's some trivia, right, over the Roy Hodgson stuff. Okay, so Roy Hodgson is the sixth man to manage Watford since they kept a Premier League clean sheet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seems legit.
6 managers, and they haven't kept a clean sheet. That's legit as well. That's not like a joke. That's like, it's not a meme. That's legit.
It's bound to happen when you're playing Christian Cabaselli at centre back, man. Did anyone watch him on Friday? It was painful. It was just, and it weren't Cabaselli's fault, the first goal. I mean, the first goal was the man who they just signed from the Italian Serie A, and he just made like he tried to shield the ball out of play, and your man just bullied him off the ball. So what is going on?
Okay, last one. That's the bit of trivia. Okay, Watford's last 5 Premier League away wins have come under 5 different managers.
Yep.
I think in the moment in England or English leagues, let's include Swansea and Cardiff in this, and Newport. Let's include Newport as well. They are the most happy club out of every team, I believe. I know you've got teams like Tottenham who get rid of managers quite a lot. I would say Man United. They stuck with Ollie for quite a bit, but they've still had quite a few managers in the last 5-6 years. Watford have to be the biggest, and to be honest, with not much success. I mean, I know they got promoted last season, but
it's different. Yeah, it's different as well. Like, you can sit in. I mean, me and JL know this. Like, we can experience it. It's so easy to sit in the championship as much as we made it difficult look as difficult as we've made it look this season. But it is easy to sit in the championship, but it is completely next level to get into the Prem and to stay there. So yeah, fine, they can get promoted, but you're just not. Yeah, you're not doing anything with it unless you've got a really good team and defence.
Imagine who they could have signed if they just didn't have to keep paying out these contracts and firing these managers.
Yeah,
they could sign some worldies. Probably all their TV money is going on paying off their managers.
Right, I don't know how to tell you this, lads, right, but since Sean Dyche was sacked in 2012, so we'll go from June 2011, yeah?
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
Watford's 16th manager.
In 10 years, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's just turned 2022 now, hasn't it? It's 10 years.
That is
That's more than one a year.
insane.
Wow.
That's mad. The combined age of the last two managers is 144 years, which is older than the club at 141.
Yeah,
Ouch.
I mean, looking at relegation battle right now, if we were to make a new judgment now, I mean, Watford have played 22 games, Newcastle 21. No, Norwich played 22, Newcastle 21, Watford 20, and Burnley 18. The two teams near the bottom, if they can handle their games in hand,
And one of them are each other.
Yeah.
one of these clubs could be pushing out. I mean, Burnley, I watched them against Arsenal. I know I actually put it in a group podcast chat. Burnley looked resilient. I mean, Arsenal should have won, no doubt. But Burnley they howled well, and even had some really good breaks at times. There was times when you thought Burnley could steal it. And, I mean, they've only won one game all season, I know that. And I know they're probably not the best Burnley side of being in the Prem. But if they've got 4 games in hand on Norwich and only 4 points behind them, averaging 1 per game, got much better goal difference in -11. And, it's good. I mean, I know I said last week that I think Burnley are down, but I'm not sure anymore. I think they could make a late run for it. Especially at the perfect time to play Watford.
Watford Burnley is massive, and I don't get me wrong, all love to Mike and the Watford lads, but if you lose against Burnley, it's GG, boys. I don't see any. That is such a crucial game now. They need 3 points from that. That 3 points is the game, and it puts them again above Norwich as well.
I really think Norwich and Newcastle will be actually probably wanting Burnley to win now. Well, they probably want to draw the most. But Watford at the moment, I mean, I think they've got a more exciting team. I think they've got a better team in general, even though they're not getting the results. I would rather, if I was not Newcastle or Norwich, be wanting to battle Burnley to get out than battle Watford, because I reckon Watford could pull something out if they're near at the end of the season.
Well, we're hopeful for a new manager bounce now as well. Didn't really have one under Ranieri. They won a game against Everton.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I think. Who do you guys think is going to stay up now?
I still really, and I mean, I'm going heart over head here, but I still really want Watford to stay up. And my heart.
I think I'm getting more and more into Newcastle.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is they've just won again.
Yeah, and they're some of the signings they're looking to get in the last few days. And I've seen some pretty reliable sources say that Lingard's coming only on a loan, and they're going to be paying over the odds for him pretty much, especially because his contract's up. But if they get Lingard in, short up the midfield, then a few other players who I've heard they've been linked with, they could be. I mean, they already look a lot better than they did.
They still lost though.
They still what? Sorry,
they still lost though, didn't they? That's the issue. Oh no, sorry, I'm on about Everton. I don't know why I'm thinking of Everton.
Oh, sorry. I was like,
were we talking about Everton?
Newcastle.
Oh, right, okay.
You're getting excited, you are, mate. You're getting too excited.
Newcastle won away against Leeds.
Yeah.
Which is a big result.
But it was a huge result, and I think at the bottom is... So how much of a difference does 1 week make? Last week, Mike was on there, and I'll be honest, I wasn't being kind for being kind's sake. I was back in Watford.
Yeah, same.
But so look at Burnley, right? So we're talking about Burnley, all the games in hand, and the Dyche effect, Brexit, all that stuff. But Burnley, I don't know if you saw this, are basically close to signing Mislav Oricic from Dynamo Zagreb. So they're trying to buy players in. They're spending $7 million on an attacking midfielder.
I mean, they've got the money after
16 goals.
Wood.
Well, but they need it, right? But imagine that, this quality player coming in. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it makes a bit more sense with the games in hand they've got that they could win it. They could win a few, especially the Watford game after the change in manager, the battering from Norwich. It's a guttering feeling when you go, oh, we needed to win that game. That was an important game and we lost it. It could just be misery on misery on misery. And I think Watford could fall against Burnley, and if they do, look at the position Burnley are in,
Ahead of
15
them with the game
points.
in hand.
Yeah, 15 points, and 2 games, like you say, 3 games are over Norwich.
And 2 ahead, yeah.
Like that's a tasty place to be. But again, I'm not backing any of them because after I backed Watford and they crumbled, I won't be backing anyone.
I was like, in one weekend, I went from thinking Watford would stay up and Burnley get relegated. If I had to pick one to get relegated, one to stay up, to switching that round and having Watford relegated and one of the other 3 teams staying up. Like, I'm gonna make a case for all 3 of them teams at the moment. I mean,
Yeah.
I know Norwich got a 3-0 result, and like a 3-0 away win, you can't take anything away from them. But I'm going to. They didn't look great.
They were awful. Their whole game plan was Sargent.
Yeah, like I mean, to win 3-0 away, you can't like. It's very hard to say. Like, they were awful, but they were. Well, not awful. Awful's a bit far. They weren't great. Burnley looked better than them, in my opinion. Newcastle looked better than them, in my opinion. I think it's between Burnley and Newcastle. My personal opinion is between them 2 who's going to stay up.
So Norwich and Watford
it'll probably
down.
change by next week. But
so you'll think, yeah, well, definitely will. So Norwich and Burnley are down in your head, and it's between Watford and Newcastle to stay up.
Yeah, and no, between Newcastle and Burnley to stay up.
Oh,
Watford
sure,
and
sorry,
Norwich
Norwich and Watford are down. Right, cool.
So I realise now, I was thinking about Everton because I was thinking about the league and obviously realising that they're the next place above Norwich, aren't they? That's where my head went.
Yeah,
okay.
And
I
they
still
lost
think
again.
they're probably. I don't know. They're still 2 games in hand on like Norwich and stuff with a little points buffer.
I think so, but if they keep throwing some more results like this, they could very, very quickly. And I mean, imagine an Everton getting relegated.
I mean, you could even put
They've never been
Leeds and
relegated.
Brentford into that though. Yeah, I mean, Everton never been relegated, have they? Like,
No.
Brentford are only 8 points outside the relegation zone. Sounds a lot, but they've also played the most games in the Premier League. Well, except for Chelsea. Like,
Yeah, good point, actually, yeah.
Brentford and Leeds aren't getting results anywhere at the moment. I know they've got a brilliant manager. I know they've got some great players. But, I mean, I still think they're probably a bit too far out of it at the moment, as long as they keep an average form for the rest of the season. They could get drawn in.
Yeah, that's tasty. That is. It's interesting, isn't it? It is interesting the bottom of the league. But yeah, the Arsenal game was interesting as well. Because we've been backing Arsenal. We've been backing Arsenal for a bit now.
And like,
go on.
If they win their game in hand, they still go 4th. I know. Let's not think about Tottenham's games in hand. But at the moment, if they win their game in hand, they go 4th. They're still in contention, but they really should have beat Burnley. Like, Lacazette's miss. I just can't.
After everything we just talked about with Burnley and about like the dire straits they're in, like a draw is resilient. Like, and obviously because Arsenal are still pretty high up the league and stuff like that, they should have been stamping on Arsenal, but they didn't. And I'm not even sure why. I'm not even sure why Arsenal didn't just destroy them.
Go on, Joe. Sorry, you go.
No, I was going to say, do you think Arsenal are missing a clinical centre forward at the minute? Like, do you think I like Lacazette, but to me, Lacazette looks like a very much, how do I say this? Like a Defoe back at Portsmouth, John, in terms of a 4-4-2 striker. Like, you can't work on your own up front. You need someone else to flick off and run off. And
he's more of a support player. And like,
yeah.
He wants to. I mean, he feeds off laying off Martinelli and Saka, Emile Smith Rowe when he plays. He doesn't seem to be able to finish a 90-minute game. He either comes off or comes on.
Yeah.
But I know the Fiorentina striker at Arsenal one. He's pretty much off to Juve now, isn't he? After 2 weeks of negotiating, he's off. I mean, I think Arteta and Arsenal see they need a striker. I think that's the one position where, with their starting 11, they're the weakest. I mean, I was saying to you, it is mad. I mean, their right back wasn't there against Burnley. I'm not sure where he was. Do you guys know if he was injured, suspended, or what?
I don't know. I think it must have been just.
I have no idea, if I'm honest.
But they were missing that right back. Like, I think was it Ben White who was playing right back. But as great a season Ben White's had, he couldn't fill the boots of. I want to say his name wrong. Tomasaku.
We'll call him that. Yeah, Tommy
Call him
Asu
Tommy.
or something.
Call him
Yeah,
Tommy.
Tommy Asu, I
Oh,
think
see,
it
look
is.
at Jamie coming in with the bang on pronunciation there.
I think the issue is Ben White's a great centre back, but he's not going to whip a ball in like Tommy Asu, is he? Like,
And like the agileness of Tommy Asu is, you don't usually have very agile centre backs. It's probably the least agile position you need on the pitch. Maybe centre mid if you're a CDM, but apart from that, it's the least agile place in the pitch. And
100%.
it sometimes confuses me. I know they're defenders, so you need to defend, but sometimes I think right mids probably would make a better fullback than a centre back in today's modern game of fullbacks basically being on the pitch.
Without a doubt, look at Trent and Robertson. Like, look at the role that they play as right backs, but they're not. They're wingers. They just put an extra shift in. Like, they are always there whipping ball. Like, Trent won in the Champions League. Like, I know he was in the semi-final against Barca, but he won it.
He was the game changer.
With that corner there.
Divock was the game changer.
No, Divock was not the game changer. If Trent didn't cross that ball in there...
He was a game changer. I can have more than one game changer.
No, I just don't like Divock Origi. So
Divock Origi
that's someone who could save one of these teams. That's someone
the game changer.
He's a bench boy. He's like the budget Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, mate.
You tell me right now. You tell me right now, if Watford signed Divock Origi, we're not singing there, staying up.
No, they're not staying up. They need a defender.
They just need to ask. But they need to basically do what Brendan Rodgers did with Liverpool them years ago, but the opposite side of the league, and just go, we'll just beat you 6-5, Norwich. Cool. Like, that's the kind of stuff they need to do. They can't defend.
If Van Dijk went to Watford, then yeah, fine, they're staying up. I'll sing it all day long. But he's not.
They just bring Divock Origi on with 10 minutes left.
Yeah,
fine.
literally.
They could be losing. He would have won them that game against Norwich.
That's true.
Bring him on.
Yeah, swap him out for Dennis. That's that yellow card. He's laughing. He's absolutely laughing.
Oh, man.
Can we just briefly talk real quick about Tottenham? Because, I don't know, look at the table. Tottenham and Arsenal are both on 36 points. Tottenham have got a game in hand. They're facing Southampton next. But they just got stomped by Chelsea.
And Southampton looking resilient. I hate to say it.
Well, yeah.
James Ward-Prowse looking good, let's say.
One free kick. I mean, I don't know how...
There's still 6 days of the window to go, boys. Let's pray and hope for John that he goes.
Newcastle. Newcastle want him. Bring him. He'll save you, Newcastle. Pay him whatever he wants. Oh, man.
Oh, he is a wizard of those free kicks. But no, I wanted to talk about Tottenham because I wanted to talk about the Chelsea game. And I wanted to ask your thoughts on Kane's disallowed goal with the whole Silvergate thing.
Do you want to go first, Joe, or do you want me to go?
I think, considering Thiago Silva's 39 years old and built pretty wide and hench, I think he needs to grow up a little bit. I think he's played VAR very well there, knowing that he's probably going to get the decision. But
I think he's played experience. Yeah.
You got done over by the England captain who absolutely mugged you off and buried you, but, you know, it is what it is. I think it was a push. You can't argue against the push, but I think I wouldn't have... It's one of them decisions where I can see what it's given, but if it wasn't given, I'd be accepting of it and go, yeah, fair enough, grow up, Silva, get some strength.
It was very, very harsh. I think that contact was there. I think if it wasn't, like you said, if it wasn't given, I mean, if a goal was given, I would have completely accepted that. But I also think, even though it was very, very harsh, contact was there. Silva, I mean, you could say cheating or whatever, and I think it probably was cheating. I mean, he over exaggerated it, but he played his experience massively. He went in there with a split second decision. He thought, "Am I going to be taking on Harry Kane with 5 yards from the goal? No, I'm feeling him touch me in the back. I'm not even going to attempt to tackle him." He made that risk, and he knew that he'll get away with it. I think that's why he did it, and that was, I mean, incredible. In the fact that he stopped it, incredible experience, cheating, yeah, but incredible experience. Not the best footballing, but he knew exactly what he was doing, and I think probably fair enough he got disallowed. I think if it's Portsmouth, I would be fuming for days.
Like, yeah, I mean, if that happened against us, I'd be going mad.
And it's very soft, but I think with that one, like they say about VAR decisions a lot, you have to go with the referee's decision on the pitch. It's not enough to get a VAR call on it.
I think VAR is so inconsistent anyway, though, isn't it? Like,
well, look at the Liverpool game. Like the penalty with Jota. on the on-field
Definite
decision.
penalty.
Yeah, no, shut up. The the on-field decision from the ref is no penalty, and then VAR go, oh well, actually, let me just ref this game for you, and they go, no, it is a penalty. Come have a look at the TV screen. Ref goes over and says, oh no, you are right. It's a penalty when it's not. It's really so clearly not. Compare it to the City Newcastle penalty. Just miles apart, and they didn't get that penalty. Just huge, big game bias. What? Big game what?
VAR is just so inconsistent. Look at United's goal this weekend. Like, you can argue both ways of was it on, was it off, but it's tight.
Oh, Cavani's
That
armpit.
is very tight.
Who was it? Was it in the set? Did you watch the Chelsea Tottenham match, Chris?
Yeah.
Did you see in the box? I think it was when Skip came on. I hope I remember it correctly. When he was basically rugby tackling the Chelsea player from the. I think it was a free kick or corner. I think it was a free kick. I can just remember it happening. I was like, VAR have to look at that. He's literally got him. He's got his. Do you know the whole saying cheek to cheek? For tackling him. He's cheek to cheek on him. No attempt for the ball, and I believe it's Aspliachecker or Dave who they're doing it on. He's like, it's literally me. I was watching it. I was like, how is that not a penalty? He's literally pushed him away from the ball, rugby tackling him. I don't know if did you see that?
But Aspliachecker.
I saw it. He basically had him in like a headlock, didn't he, while he was moving?
I mean, it's not even. It's so low. He was round his waist. It was ridiculous. And like VAR, I think VAR needs to. I don't mind VAR being in the game. I know a lot of people hate it completely, but I think it shouldn't be. If you think it's enough of a thing to overturn referees. I think if it's a chance the referee's got it wrong, they need to get him to look at it, but also make the referee feel like he's got more freedom to stick with his decision or go against his decision or go against VAR, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think in that situation, I agree it should only be for goal stuff, offside, it's goals and red cards, isn't it?
Yeah.
VAR, and I like that.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Because not double yellows, it's just straight reds, isn't it? Goals and straight reds.
Yeah.
And I like that because that means it doesn't interfere too much. But I think for the goals and for straight reds, because they don't happen that much, if there's even the slightest chance that he's made the wrong decision, even if it's not enough to overturn it, like let's look at that silver one. There was contact, but maybe let the referee have another look at it. I think let the referee make the choice. Give the referee a bigger job than just his computer in the background making all. I know it's refs on the computers. But give the ref a chance to look at it again and go, you know what? Yeah, maybe it is a penalty. Or, you know what? Maybe it isn't a penalty. Or whatever. Give him a chance, I think.
So was it not even VAR, sorry? Was it literally just the ref straight up went no foul?
For which one? So Skip.
Like the Harry Kane push?
Oh, Harry Kane. Well, he said no, he said it wasn't a goal. And then VAR didn't overturn it. Or tell him to look at it.
Yeah. It's bizarre. It's just so... Like, I know people... go mad when other people say it should be more like the rugby video ref, but it just should. It just should. I don't think in all my years of watching rugby I've ever disagreed with a video ref's decision in a game of rugby ever. But I've disagreed probably every other one when it comes to football and VAR.
Yeah, because the refs actually explain exactly what's going on as well.
Yeah, they just go, listen, it's clear, this is what's happening. But they have a different role as well. So they actually ref it. So the ref on the pitch goes, I'm not sure about that one. Can we have a look? Sends it to the ref in the big chair, and he goes, I've had a look. What are you asking me? And then the ref goes, right, did he ground the ball? And then the ref in the chair goes, yeah, he grounded the ball. If that's the only thing you're worried about, if that's the only thing that you're not sure about, grounding the ball, yes, he grounded the ball. And then sometimes if it's clear and obvious, he goes, oh, just to let you know, that guy's just stamped on his head. So you might not want to give the try for that. You know what I mean? It's I don't understand why the inconsistencies there with football when rugby is such a way more complicated game when it comes to contact and fouls.
I had an idea before VAR came in when now thinking about doing it. Well, I thought it was a good idea. You guys, please be brutally honest on this, because I've always thought it was good. I've never really shared it with someone that much. I maybe mentioned it in passing. But I thought a good thing for VAR would be following sort of like the tennis route of challenges, where give a manager an extra job. If he thinks something's wrong, then maybe like one challenge a half for a manager, so they can't use it for time wasting too much. Because they only have one, and if they get it correct, they get another one.
Yeah.
But it gives the manager another job. So that Harry Kane one, if Conte disagreed, he could have went to the fourth fish, go, I'm challenging that, and then get the referee to have a look. I mean, you might disagree, but I thought that might be a good way. That's before it came in. That was like, I thought that could have been a good way to implement it. Give the manager a bigger job on the sideline rather than just moaning in the fourth official's ear the whole time.
No, I
getting
think
booked
so.
for it. Let me know what you think. What if I mean, they won't do it now. If they were to bring,
they listen to the pod, John. Listen to the pod. They've gone. You taking notes on this, guys? Yeah. So what's he said there? He said just. No, I think it's great, mate. I think it's similar to NFL, isn't it? Like where they throw the. They can challenge the play. The sort of the sideline people throw the flags on the field. You could do something similar where like the manager throws a beanbag on the thing. But no, similar to tennis. I think it's good. I think you should be allowed to have that. Just 1.5 for those really important calls. If it gets turned over, like if you get proved right, you get your challenge back or whatever. But no, I think it's legit. I think that's definitely one way to sort of curb the inconsistency.
Yeah, definitely. I think you have certain managers though that will have that one appeal used up by minute 3.
Yeah, sure. But we love Neil Warnock anyway. And
I was thinking more Conte.
If they get it right, they get it back.
Oh yeah, of course.
You don't get punished for using it early as long as you're right. And like,
yeah, it's true.
I mean, I know football's a bit more subjective than tennis. Tennis, is it in? No. Is it out? Yes, sort of thing. Whereas football, you can have opinions, just like that. A Harry Kane one or the obvious Jota penalty. Do you know what I mean? Like you can have your opinions on it, but it's very much each person's got their own view on it. I know there is a rule book. That's what the rules say, but it's like it's a lot. It's not as cut and dry as tennis is. But I also understand. Yeah, I mean it was my thing. I don't know why I'm arguing against it. But
John's talked himself into an argument.
It's great.
It's like when I'm in the shower having shower thoughts, argue against myself. No, but I think that would be a good way. Would have been a good way to do it.
Cool. Right. Last little question to finish off. Then, right. If you could pick one player to join your respective teams right now for the rest of the season, it can't be the Roberto Carlos eBay raffle though. If you've seen that is hilarious.
I love it, mate. I love it.
It could be. I'm in. Just join Cardiff, mate, on the weekend. Anyway. If you could pick one player to join your team for the rest of the season, who would it be and why?
Mason Mount.
Does it have to be realistic?
No, it could be lit as long as they're alive.
Okay.
It could be.
Mason Mount, 100%. Pompey fan, he'll give it all, and he's good at scoring. He's good at creating play. He's very creative. He can play in the centre. He can play out wide. And to be honest, we need a creative player up front. So till the end of the season, yeah. I mean, I would have him permanently.
Yeah.
But that's the question.
Sure.
Yeah.
If he'll stay. Yeah.
Mason Mount.
Okay. Jay?
Bring me Jude back.
Are you okay?
Have every player in the world.
Oh, no.
I mean,
I'll just
I've
say
done
the
it a bit as
sentiment
well.
about it.
Yeah, but I was confused at yours, John, as well. Don't worry.
Lewandowski.
Nice. Okay. So
3-1. Just a couple of, do you know what I mean? Just bang us in some goals, Levin. Like, please.
it's like the Ballon d'Or winner, Lewandowski.
But yeah, they've been robbed of about 3 Ballon d'Ors now. Dusky, yeah.
So you've gone Dusky. John, so your heart says Mason Mount, but your head, are you sticking with Mason Mount?
I just think because a lot of players, if they came down to League One, will think they're above the league.
No.
He probably does, but because he supports Portsmouth, he'll give his all anyway.
There's a player who comes to your club, who will die for your club to the end of the season. They'll give absolutely anything for that club.
Let me think. This might sound weird.
Okay.
I don't know if I should say it. You're going to take the mick out.
No, go on, say it. As long as it's Carney, mate, it's fine.
Because you said they'd die for the club and they'd give their all for the club.
Yeah.
And this player, I don't think, does that for his club, and that's why he's not the best in the world right now, or one of the best in the world.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know if I should say it.
No, go on.
Like, you're taking the mick out of me.
If you say Pogba, I'll laugh. I will laugh if you say Pogba.
No. I was going to say Neymar.
Interesting.
For PSG, I
you'd
don't
have
think
to fly
he
his
tries.
sister over though as well. That's
what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, I don't think he cares as much. That's why he doesn't play amazing for them. But if you look at him at Barcelona, he was so good. And that's why he became most expensive player in the world at the time.
He was at the time. He was probably arguably the best player in the world at that time. Like, as
And
long as
for
you've got no
Brazil-
crucial games in March, you're okay.
But that's what I mean. Like, that's why for Brazil he's amazing as well. So I think if he would like die for the club sort of thing,
Yeah.
if he would give his all every game, then I don't know if I'd be a better player.
No, I think I agree. John's got a very good point there. Like,
Not if it'll just come, because I don't. If it just comes,
No.
Like,
No, if it's not like a
if it's
wage
just a normal
thing.
transfer,
Yeah, it's not a wage thing. Yeah. For me, I'm picking De Bruyne.
why?
Mm.
I think Kevin De Bruyne is the best player in the world.
Except when
Wait.
it comes up against Joe Morale. That's when you have to worry.
Yeah, well,
If we play you in the cup, Joe Morale's playing, mate.
no,
Get him
that's
in,
playing
get
in
him in his
the cup, mate.
pocket.
Wales have got
Come on,
Wales,
Kevin.
Wales have got Belgium in the World Cup qualifiers, mate. We'll see it
Happen
then,
again, mate.
We'll see it
Don't
then.
worry.
Where
Come
would
on,
you,
Kevin, in the pocket.
where would you
think-
play De Bruyne? Like centre mid, Cam.
Yeah, Cam.
anywhere.
Just Cam.
De Bruyne,
Yeah.
pitch.
Yeah. De Bruyne, manage, and then on the pitch, please, mate. No, De Bruyne, yes, he's got to be Cam. I think for us as well, like we need a bit of attacking, but we also need that midfield. So we know we can bang him in, right? So that's why we want him there. But we also want him to sort of feed the rest of the team on the plate. We can't miss it. Interestingly, though, no one said Salah, who has been left out of the team of the year.
I would like a player that passes the ball.
FIFA team of the year. Salah passes the ball, mate.
I think
you can be
I
a
think
bit
with
greedy.
Salah is I have to be good enough to get the ball to him a lot of times because he misses a lot as well.
Yeah,
You
and
have
I
to-
think
like,
this is
Portsmouth's
something that
not-
isn't spoke about enough. Salah does miss a lot of chances.
He makes a lot, and the reason he's so good is because he gets himself in so many good positions. But when you're a team like maybe Portsmouth Blues or Cardiff, who maybe aren't creating the chance. I mean, Portsmouth have got I think the lowest goals in like the top 14 in League One, and you guys both near the bottom of the table. If you're not getting the ball to him, let's say you get him 5 times in the game in a decent position, he might score 2, but the other team might score 3, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like that's why I think for me I wouldn't pick Salah.
Really? It just baffles me that.
Well, why didn't you pick Salah?
Because I can't stand him. I'm just anti-Liverpool, mate. Anti-Liverpool, mate. Yeah, I don't know. It surprised me, the whole sort of team of the year stuff. I had a look at it, and I wasn't happy. We had it in our sort of chat, didn't we? We were talking a bit about it, and I was just baffled he wasn't in there.
But maybe my answer would have been different
Couldn't twig it.
if it wasn't the whole like you'd give your like heart and soul for it, 'cause then
Well, it was Mount,
or
wasn't
you'd
it?
die for the club. Yeah, well, that's true. Actually. I'll stop talking. But that's
On
the
a
reason I picked
podcast.
Neymar.
Yeah.
I don't think Neymar is the best player in the world or anywhere near that or anywhere should be near that team. But because I think if he can be bothered or if he's playing for a team he likes, I think he's very good.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I don't look. I'm not here to judge. I was just interested, especially after all the cards came out and Salah wasn't there, and I was like interested.
Did we
Like,
talk
mate,
about the team of the year on the pod?
No.
No.
It
Do
only
you want to
came
do that
out.
quickly?
Let's do this. Let's get
Because
this out of the
I'm
way, yeah.
fuming about something in this, Chris. I'm
Oh.
super fuming.
Look, before you absolutely
Yeah.
unleash, can I just point out to Jamie that Mohamed Salah has got 9 assists so far.
Yeah, 20
in
shots
games.
that he's missed that someone's tapped in at the back stick.
Hit off the bar on a post and go to counts the pass.
You can't argue with Jamie, can you? Because he's always got something. Go on, John. Unleash, mate, on team of the year.
All right, a few things. Actually, 2 main things. Mendy won best goalkeeper and then wasn't in the team of the year. Who did the maths on that? So you're the best
who was the
goalkeeper, but can you sit on the bench?
Sorry, who was team of the year? Who was the
It
goalkeeper?
was Donnarumma in
Donnarumma,
goal.
Oh yeah, of course it was FIFA boy. Yeah, cool. The guy
That's
with
what I mean.
FIFA.
I mean, he sits on the bench. I understand the argument if he played because he won. He was a big part of Italy winning. He was a great goalkeeper in that, but he didn't even win best goalkeeper. Mendy did.
Shall I
doesn't
read
make
out
sense.
the team of the year? I'll read out
Yeah,
team of the
please.
year, and then we can go through it.
I actually
we
haven't
have-
officially heard this yet, so this is going to be interesting.
Oh, nice. Okay, so we've got Donnarumma goalkeeper,
Right. Interesting.
obviously. Ruben Diaz and Marquinhos as centre backs. I know I've said that wrong, by the way, but like just ignore it.
Marquinhos, but that's fine.
Yeah, Marquinhos. We've got
He's Welsh, guys. Don't worry.
Oh, is he? I thought he was Brazilian. Hakimi at right back, and João Cancelo at left back. Kante, Jorginho, obviously, because he's sorry, Cal. Jorginho, De Bruyne all in the middle, and then Mbappe, Lewandowski, and Messi all up top.
Okay, so why Jorginho?
Oh, mate.
No, 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 no. I don't care. I know
You've
the
muted our
argument.
chat, haven't you, Jay?
I
You've
know,
muted our
I
chat,
know
haven't
the argument's about to happen, and I know it's going to be, he won the Champions League. All he does is skip and kick a football from 18 yards out and scores a goal, and everyone thinks he's amazing. He's not that good. He's literally only this good because he's had N'Golo Kante next to him. In the Euros, he didn't do anything really. He passed the ball a couple of times. He looked good because he was next to Barella, who was winning the ball back for him.
He missed the penalty as well, didn't he?
in the final, but he also scored a penalty to get him through to the final. To get him to,
I just think there's better midfielders.
I don't mind about Jorginho just because I think there's not one player who's won more than him this year. And he said himself, he goes, if it's individual award, I don't deserve it.
Yeah, good.
So he won FIFA Best Player a few months ago. If it's individual award, I don't deserve it. But if it's how important I've been, then I do. I've won more than anybody. And I was like, that makes sense because even though maybe he wasn't the best player for Chelsea, the best player for Italy, he was important in both squads, and they both won the two biggest competitions, I think, this year in the Champions League.
So is that why PSG are like? There's loads of PSG players in the team of the year.
Yeah, this is what I was about to say. This is why Salah should be above Mbappe because Mbappe, firstly, his international team got knocked out to Switzerland.
The mighty Swiss.
He's he didn't win the Champions League with that team. I can't remember when they got knocked out. They came second in their league. They came second in a league with only one team.
Yeah. How to say that?
It's like when Tottenham. When Tottenham came third in a 2-horse race. Like it's one of, like
I love that.
I know he scored a lot of goals. I know he assisted a lot in the league. But when you're playing against like part-time teams, that happens. You know, if Man City played League Two football, like their players who score loads, they're not all going to get in the team. But like I understand Jorginho more than Mbappe and Donnarumma for that reason.
Yeah, but Marquinhos, Hakimi, Messi, none of them should be in there.
I think Marquinhos, I don't think so either. But Brazil did get to a final of a major competition. And he was very good in that. I think there's probably players who are better. I'm putting this against Mbappe right now. Why Mbappe? Maybe they deserve it more than Mbappe. I don't think they deserve it. Hakimi though, he's probably in there for winning the league with Inter Milan.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because he only moved in the summer, didn't he?
Sure. That makes sense then.
So Hakimi, I don't have a problem with.
He has been decent for PSG as well, to be fair, Hakimi.
Yeah, and Messi, I think.
What's Messi done?
They didn't win the La Liga, which is sad.
Right.
Well, not sad actually. I don't care. But he was he top scorer in the league in the La Liga, and also he won the South American Cup, whatever it's called,
which is like the Carabao Cup, isn't it? It's like
it's like the Euros, but for
no. Euros is like FA Cup. Euros is FA Cup. World Cup's Champions
I don't mind
League.
this argument because Portsmouth won the FA Cup and Blues won the Carabao.
You went to come for them, mate. You went to come for them. And then, but the South American one is absolutely the Carabao, mate. Look at all the teams.
That's fine.
Anyway,
I don't mind.
That's
the argument for Messi.
So Messi's won the
Carabao
Carabao
tournament
Cup
as well.
No. If anything, you can't even do that card. Like Emi Martinez should be in the team then because he won the penalty shootout for him, not Messi.
I mean, Emi Martinez had a great season, especially for Argentina, but he also played well for Villa.
And Messi, actually, to his credit, has scored a ton of goals in that year, in the calendar year. Not this year.
Okay. I think it's got 2 for PSG.
Yeah, to be fair, Messi's been on flames at PSG. I mean, like, you can't argue that. It's been unbelievable.
Last season.
Wow.
Messi more. I think can you guys both agree with me? Messi deserves it more than Mbappe.
I think so. I think it hurts me to say it because I think Mbappe is a better player, but he just hasn't been able to show it. Salah definitely more than both of them, which really hurts me.
One thing which this is probably shooting down the argument for Jorginho, but I think it's sad how much it's come up to how good a team's done trophy-wise. Because like you said, Emi Martinez, he's had a great year at Villa, great year at Argentina. I know they won the Copa America, but because he plays for Villa, he's
Yes.
not even in contention for it. And like Salah, they didn't win anything this season, and that's probably why he's not in it. But arguably one of the best players in the world, the best winger in the world. I mean, he was in the top 3 for the best player in the world, wasn't he? He came third, I think.
Yeah.
But I think
So why is
it's
Kante in
sad.
there?
Because Kante is unbelievable.
Sure.
And they won the Champions League, and he
So
played.
that's it?
He played CDM, cam, centre mid for Chelsea. He played every position down the centre pretty much, and was sick.
Yeah, sure. So it's because of the trophy stuff. Because and I know
It is, yeah,
it's not positional because like if you can't swap Salah out for Kante because they play different positions, but ultimately Salah's been a better player than Kante in that year, and Salah's not in there because Mbappe plays for a team with one real like world class player in, then they play in a farmers league, and Kante won the Champions League, so he's in there, and Jorginho's in there. They both sort of like Jorginho coasted in both of those tournaments. I would argue, I wouldn't say he's the standout player in either team, but because he was a part of both teams, then he gets it. I like Donnarumma, great. He was absolutely pivotal in the Euros for Italy. Yeah, exactly. And also, I couldn't score against him. But that's who he's playing against, people who have the same calibre of right foot as me.
Let's be honest, us three could go to France right now as a formidable front three and score about 10 goals a season each.
I'd make
we could make like a Dijon FC or something up front, do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? We're rocking that up front, do you know what I mean? Like, listen, boy, Wassim Ben Yeddy, move, lad. Like, big J's up top, move, you know, man. Like, you know,
yeah, it just baffled me, the whole Salah stuff. But yeah, John, you've absolutely punched holes in that team of the year. It's mad. I don't get it, and that's why I just refuse to play FIFA 2022.
I've got an outside shout for someone who could have been included. I reckon should have made, let's say, the bench. I know there's not a bench. No, Luis Suarez. He went to Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
After being outcast for being too old. I mean,
don't even get started.
Yeah, but anyway, outcast for being too old, and then won the league with Atletico and played really well. I don't know how they did internationally, because even though I talked about the Copa America, I didn't watch any of it.
Sure.
I just knew a few players did well. I know Martinez did well, especially in he kept him in a few games, and Messi was player of the tournament. But if he played half decent for Uruguay there, surely he's in with a shout. Because I know it's not a prime Barcelona or Real Madrid team, but for Atletico to win the league in any year is a big achievement, and he was a pivotal part of it. That's
a shout. That's a big one. I don't know about the Copa America. I know they got knocked out on penalties, but I don't know at what stage of the tournament that was. But
did he bite anybody?
He always bites people, mate. He's bitey man. Yeah, so that's a good shout. That's what baffles me about this whole thing. Like, so unless FIFA want to sponsor this pod and give me a free copy, I won't be buying it because. And I know this is actual FIFA, by the way, and not FIFA 2022 who are just making this, but it still just isn't right, and it baffles me. But so that's why I thought I'd bring it up. But thanks for going into it and tucking into those.
Sorry, I'm a bit angry then. I apologise.
No,
that's a good argument, man. Good. Sorry, I had to mute myself for a minute. Then we just made it 2-2 against Peterborough. We've just scored two. We've just scored 2 goals in 2 minutes, and had to contain myself and go.
Right, well, I'll tell you what, we'll leave it there. We'll let Jamie get back to the game, but also finish off here. Thank you so much for listening. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, and podcasts. And that's cool, that's quality. And you can also find us on Twitter and Instagram as well. So keep checking us out. Keep babbling, you brummies. Although I'm not a brummie. But that's okay. See you next time.